Alt season is officially here. I think we can safely confirm that. We just had the longest BBC Ethereum candle I have possibly ever seen, which is absolutely crazy. Ethereum is pumping, Bitcoin dominance is dumping, which could only mean that alt season is here. Let's look into the charts and see what we are buying. All right, what's up, wolves? Welcome back to the channel. I got a quick favor to ask. We are looking for at least a 10% subscriber to like ratio. We got like 5,700 subscribers currently, so that means we need 570 likes minimum. So if you could go ahead, look at the channel below. And if we don't have 570 likes on this video, please contribute. Just slap that like button, maybe even leave a comment, and let's help grow this channel. This is my brand new channel. 5,700 subs starting from scratch after my old channel has 450,000, of which we'll be having a lot of great trading podcast guests coming up, so definitely look for that channel as well. But anyways, let's look into the charts and see what's going on. All right, guys, starting off with Bitcoin, obviously just monumental move, right? In the weeks previous, we loaded up on altcoins down here. We said if this breaks out this level right around 63.5, that is going to be the moment we need to start buying in altcoins, of which we did, and we'll talk about all those altcoins today, and maybe even some future altcoins that we're going to be buying in as well, and what we could be looking at on buying the dip after this massive run. Currently, Bitcoin is now retesting this major resistance area, but this is a beautiful ascending triangle breakout chart formation that is picture perfect so far. What we'd like to see is a test of these highs, come back down into support. We have massive support on the ascending scale, 1, 2, 3, plus here and here, horizontal support. So this is a massive support level to rebuy the dip if we did dip down there. What's going to happen as far as that, I don't know. What I do know is that we are in this pre-breakout territory. So as long as we're in this little consolidation between about 67.5 and the highs, this is just going to lead to compression into the nose of this pattern. And as soon as that breaks out to the upside, we are off to the races. If we look at the actual projection of this pattern, and this pattern alone, we have a projection of about 88,000 on this breakout of Bitcoin, with the psychological levels at about 100 to 150,000 on Bitcoin. I discussed the Bitcoin analysis a little bit more brief in detail in the Bitcoin analysis video, but same thing going on here with Ethereum. We are pumping right into this major resistance level, of which it's very possible that we get a pullback. And what I would like to see, this would be the ideal situation, is we get a 50% pullback on the fib from this move right here. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. And this would be a premium buying area, right? Because we have that 50% fib, we pull back into this previous high, and that would be a prime opportunity to then buy this dip, of which then we would have an ascending triangle breakout here, and then a third test of here. And then that would be the breakout that would then trigger this move to 4,000 or 4,100. And if that broke out, that's off to the races to retest ATH at 5,000. So that's what we're looking at here from the top-down view of Ethereum. Now, let's take a look at some altcoins that we had been buying in prior to this actually happening. There's no greater feeling than being in before that big BBC candle comes into fruition. So these are a list of some of the coins that I have purchased, and I also have a spot bag as well that I picked up. So first and foremost, let's start off with Miro. Little meme coin action, right? So currently, we're not massively right here, but we bought in right around 16.8. And right now it has yet to actually break out of this secondary pattern. So obviously meme coins have been on massive runs. And now after that massive run, we are consolidating. We're having the lead-in trend, which is now broken, which is very bullish for us. But we also now have this secondary revival ascending triangle pattern breakout with the test here and here. And that is the actual trigger that has to happen for this to get the next leg up, okay? Now, we could definitely possibly see another dip here, especially if Ethereum does get that dip that we're looking for. So as of right now, as long as Miro stays within this ascending trend and this horizontal trend, that is more and more compression, more buildup, leading to the breakout, of which the next profit target for this is about 27 cents. Then obviously this area about 33. Then obviously this area about 43. So those are the profit targets for Miro. My initial short-term gains are going to be between mostly in this box right here. Okay. And then I can reevaluate the situation after that. But for me, right now on the meme coins, I'm looking for short-term gains, get in, get out, lock in profits, then I can reevaluate. Another big one is Super, of which I believe has a lot of upside potential to break out. We can see that this thing definitely has the ability to make big moves based on ascending triangle breakouts. The last time we broke out here, this ripped about 117%. I would imagine we at least get a 50, potentially another 100% move based on the current setup that we're in right now, of which we did get long down here at about 98 cents, under $1. As it broke out above this descending trend, we now have officially broken out above this next revival pattern breakout at about 110. So right now, this is looking extremely bullish here from both the breakout perspective, the descending trend, as well as the horizontal resistance. We have now broken out. The first initial profit target is going to be about 140. But ideally, what we see form up here is an ascending triangle breakout, of which I call a kryptonite pattern breakout, which is basically just a pattern breakout that breaks out to all-time highs from a recent coin that's trading on the market. So ideally, what we would see is something like this, retest those highs, come back down, retest an ascending trend, come up for a third time, and that would be now an ascending triangle breakout, similar to this pattern right here. And we can basically project what the profit target would be by measuring, I guess, right here would be the breakout zone from the initial first pullback. And we copy and paste this and extend it from the top. And that would be about a 43% gain from the breakout here, which gives us a profit target about 227. And from today's current price, that's upside potential of about 100%, right? As I said before, I'm looking for another 50 to 100% breakout from the current price. That would be kind of what we're looking at on 223. That's just short term. I have no idea how high it goes in a longer term sense. We have no idea how big the parabolic move, if we do get a parabolic move, is going to be. But just from a technical charting perspective, near term target that would be a safe area to start locking in gains would be in the 220s if we break it above all-time highs. Brief interruption here, guys. Did you know that 75% of traders have accounts under $25,000? This creates a huge problem because even if you double that account in a year, which is almost impossible, you're still only making $25,000. Introducing Hydra funding, where you can potentially get access up to $500,000 in capital. All you have to do, guys, is sign up for a challenge account, which is going to give you potentially access up to $500,000. And if you earn a 10% profit in this demo account without going into a 5% loss overall or a 4% loss in a day, you will then pass their evaluation phase and, yes, get access to an account with the selected size account. And now, instead of trying to double a $10,000 account, you could potentially earn only 10% on a $100,000 account to earn the same level of profits. And the benefits of this are huge. Rather than risking your entire $10,000 on one account, you can use just $1,000 to potentially get access to $100,000 in capital. You can trade crypto, Forex, stocks, CFTs, gold, oil, everything under the sun, all on MT4 and MT5. If you're interested, if you have an account under $25,000, like 75% of traders out there, you're not going to make any money with that account because it's too small. Get access to pro level funding and pro level capital with Hydra funding. Link's going to be below. Miria, another one that we bought the dip on here. This is a gaming ecosystem coin, of which Super is also a gaming. Most of these coins are going to be gaming and AI. We bought the dip down here at about 55.0055. We already locked in partial gains at 0.25 and even upwards. We're almost there at the third and fourth profit targets. But first initial reaction off this move, there is resistance right around 0.87 that we will be locking in gains and even potentially buying the dip here, right? If you look at the chart, we broke out of the descending trend, big strong candle with Ethereum today. Now, I would like to see, a dip at least 50% into that 50% premium zone off that fib retracement down here to about 0.00612 would be a solid secondary buy area. Also, this new ascending trend forming, that would be a buy area for then this thing to shred and go into the next resistance level at about 0.087. So short-term target, just based on that reaction off these lows, would be upwards about 0.87 cents, which from today's current price is about a 36% gain. Now, obviously, that is a very, very short-term price target just to be safe and lock in some gains. From there, what we would like to see is something like this, retest up in that level, retest this level again, another dip buying opportunity. Then we have some sort of a triangle breakout pattern, and then that push right there could trigger the move to retest highs again. So for me, I always like to be locking in gains along the way up. The first initial target is going to be right around there, then potential dip buy here, and then pushing up here. Because, right, we can't predict the future of what's going to happen here. But what we can do is lock in gains along the way and then reevaluate this issuance and then recycle our profits into dip buying opportunities and secondary patterns. So that's what I typically like to do. Obviously, I have a spot portfolio. So I have a spot portfolio here as well, of which are a little bit longer holds. I'm not looking for, these short-term gain profit targets, but it's Beam, Prime, Node AI, OXO, Super, AIOZ, Carrot, PAL, and Destra. We'll look at these charts as well, but I'm not looking for just the quick buck, get in, get out. This is more so, okay, if Ethereum pumps to all-time highs 5,000, if Bitcoin gets to 100K, these are probably going to be in a parabolic state of which I want to just get out of those positions, and I'm not looking for that quick, 30% gainer on these. So I diversify the trading strategies from this is like Bybit derivatives, where that other screenshot here, this is just spot in a private wallet. Not going to look at it until, I'll sell if we break down certain levels. But if Bitcoin and Ethereum get to 5K on Ethereum or Bitcoin 100K plus, okay, these are probably going to be parabolic, and I'll just exit those positions for big, big gains. But speaking of which, let's take a look at Beam here. Again, bull markets, a lot of times just the triangle breakouts are what lead to the next big moves. You have sideways consolidations, ascending triangle breakout, big move to the upside. Right now, we broke out above this descending trend, which is looking nice and solid. We have 1, 2. Now, the third breakout here, we also broke out the horizontal breakout. We got in down here at about 24 cents. We already hit the first TP on the derivatives account, but I also have a bag of this on spot that's just looking for a more longer term hold. But on derivatives, I'll be locking in gains all the way up, to 40 cents, and then I will reevaluate the situation. Again, if we can come back up here and then have some sort of pullback and then give us a secondary higher low, then that'll be a little bit more confirmation of a longer term ascending triangle breakout that we can then reevaluate and then load up pre-breakout for the actual breakout here. And that would be kind of the parabolic move that we look for going forward. But as of right now, we have no idea if this kind of pattern is going to form up. All we can do right now is just take advantage of quick gains to the upside in my derivatives account, and then I have a longer term hold in spot that we can take advantage of the full move. But even with derivatives, I can lock in profits up here, ensure that I secure the bag and lock in some gains, and then we can reevaluate what happens, right? Does it come back down and dip and form up a secondary pattern? Okay, I can reevaluate the situation then, re-enter, and then push that trade to the upside on this actual breakout if this pattern forms. But for me, short-term trading-wise, I love to lock in profits and love to ensure that I'm making money always in locking in gains. Pixel, another gaming token that was just, looking a little bit iffy down here, retesting these lows. We actually bought in right here at about 35 cents. We just shredded through this descending resistance line, and now we're back above this actual sell side liquidity trap. So right now, again, small dip to the downside would be a buy opportunity. Again, and then push up here. First target 0.2550. Next big resistance is about 49.50 cents, and then the next big resistance again is going to be about 62 to 60, which I'll be locking in gains basically this entire way up. On my derivatives account, I don't have a spot position on this, and then after that happens, if that does happen, we can reevaluate, right? It's safe to say that if it pumps up to this level, it might then retest down here, of which I can lock in all my gains up here, and then potentially rebuy down here and reevaluate the chart when that happens and see what kind of new pattern is formed up within the next 1 to 2 months, right? Because right now, we have no idea what's going to happen. But lock in the gains on the way up, then we reevaluate the chart and check it out from there. Fetch AI, of which we bought in down here at about 228, came back down and retested that descending support, and now we're pumping back to the upside. Again, we are still forming up the horizontal resistance levels here at about 260. So what I would like to see is a retest of this zone here, a continuation of this ascending trend, which we can actually now reconnect down here, a pullback, potentially even back down to that level. And then this breakout here would be the magnet just go boom, straight to all-time highs. Whether it goes parabolic and just continues pumping is hard to say, but ideal situation is pump to all-time highs, pull back, continue the ascending trend. Third time we break out above 4, and then we're pushing $5 to $6 per coin on Fetch AI. So definitely like that chart. STRK is another one that we are long. We got long down here on this dip right here, and then we added again right here. And now we're looking pretty solid. Now we have a clear low in, I think here, super overbought or oversold on fear and greed. We also have a bullish divergence that is formed. Now for this one is currently breaking above, or maybe not breaking yet. Let's see. So right now we have basically 1, 2, almost third and almost fourth. So right now it's still within consolidation, still below degenerate trend, basically still below the 50 to moving average, but we're seeing those bottoming signals here on STRK, of which the first initial big resistance levels are going to be right around here, about $1.50, and then next levels around almost upwards of $2 per coin. Upwards in this level here, right? So we got a big pivot right here at about 187, and then obviously this high here at about 205. So for me, profit targets here on STRK, one, we'll probably get a dip buying opportunity. Ethereum just went on that massive BBC candle. We're probably going to get a dip on that. This would be a dip buying opportunity about 50% down this actual candle, about 113, for then the potential breakout above this descending trend. First target is going to be right up around 150. A little bit longer term is going to be about 180 to 190, potentially upwards of $2 per coin. After that, we will then reevaluate the chart and then see what kind of other trade setup we can pull together through that. AIOZ, this is one that we have in the spot portfolio. I definitely like this chart. If we look back here a little bit longer term at the daily, right? Oops. We got this big level back here at about 118. We also have this breaking out here. Right, breaking out above, attempting to break out above it right here, failed, coming back into degenerate trend, and now continually getting back up. Now we have the horizontal resistance forming right here. We have the ascending support forming. Oops. Right here, getting ready for that potential breakout. And a breakout above this level is probably going to retest this high right here, and then retest this high right here. And then we're going to have what will be basically an ascending triangle breakout formation along with the all-time high. And now that is going to be a massive, massive resistance level that if it breaks, this thing's going to go on 100 to 200% run. That would be my guess here. So AIOZ, if this pattern forms up and we start breaking above 119, 120, and it's not just like a straight shot up to here, I don't want to see a straight shot. What I would like to see is a consolidation, a little bit more compression into a pattern that then leads to the breakout right here. And then that will give the signal to at least $2 per coin would be the first initial profit target, potentially upwards of 250 to 3 on AIOZ. What else we got here? Tau is another one that I definitely like. Coming back down in here, breaking descending resistance, and now failing a little bit right here, but this is definitely now strong. We have bullish divergences forming, have a clear low in play right here. Now a new higher low right here. I think a dip buying opportunity would be in play right here to this little order block into the 50% premium discount level of this candle for the next leg up. And then we just go up to the next resistance here at about 481 to 500. And from there, I think this could easily just trend. I think it's going to trend back up to all-time highs here on Tau. So I do have a small position on Tau that I have opened up, and I will look to potentially buy the dip here on Tau as well down in this level. Shrapnel is another game that we bought. We bought down here at about 0.0096 after this formed this nice bottoming candle right here at this heavy support. We got in. That liquidated everyone. If you look at the intraday chart, it's just a big, massive sell-off followed by a reaction rally. We got in here right about 0.96, and I believe the next profit target, that will be the easy number profit target, will be right in this resistance level at about 19 to 20 cents, of which I'll be locking in gains along the way up. I've already took a 0.25% profit target off that big switch. We're actually getting into the overbought territory already, but we do have a bullish divergence, and we can see this thing definitely has the ability to move, and it got a massive, massive dump over the last couple months here. So there's definitely going to be a big reaction. The first reaction will be just right into this resistance. Potentially then retest it, come back down into a support level, form up a triangle breakout pattern of which we can buy the dip and then even buy this breakout here, which will then send this up to potentially go to 30, upwards of the next resistance highs at 40 cents. What happens beyond that, I don't know. That's just the initial profit targets and patterns that could form up that we could play based off the current chart pattern that we're in right now. What else we got here, guys? What else am I in? Bum, bum, bum. AR is another one. I don't have a big position because I bought really late on AR, but I like the pattern on AR. We basically are forming that triangle formation right here on AR. But right, even with that big move today on Bitcoin Ethereum, it did not break out because it's already there at that resistance. So I bought like a tiny position pre-breakout right around here. If this broke out to the upside, we can project a potential target here of about, for a max target, right, off this breakout to about $71 per coin. But for me, I never pick one target. What I like to do is just take a gain box and split it up in quarters. Go like this. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. Lock in gains along the way up, especially on my short-term derivatives positions. That way ensures me, if it's just a trap, because this could be just a trap, one little spike to the upside, then boom, down to the downside. But at least I lock in my 0.25. I move my stop to break even, and I take 0.25. No matter what, I'm going to make money on this trade. Most people, when they fail, they get that one big push to the upside or even to 50%, and then it traps and then dumps. They never lock in any gains because their profit target's all the way up here, and they never lock it in any profits, okay? And the majority of time, you're never going to get your big move. You're only going to get one little fucking thing, and all you get is one little spike to the upside that you need to lock in profits, which is why I like to ensure gains by locking in profits on the way up. We can also look at these. Prime, Node, GPU. GPU, I like this pattern that we're working with right here. This broke out above this descending trend. We're now pushing back up nicely. We now have this resistance levels forming here at about 170. So what I'd like to see is retest above these levels, form up an ascending triangle pattern breakout that gives us a clear buy signal again at 175 or so. That would be the push up to about 260, retest the all-time highs. And then from there, maybe we form a third triangle breakout that retests that level, retests support, breaks out here, and then that would be the push to about $4 to $5 per coin on GPU. But for me right now, first initial profit targets are just going to be upwards of about 270 on GPU. Next one we got here is Beam. We already looked at that. Prime is another one that I'm in at about down here, about 1630. This one, the chart's a little bit too all over the place to really kind of define any sort of like clean pattern. You could kind of argue that I guess it could have like a double bottom right here, right? So first bottom, second bottom. Now we have this flat line top breakout, maybe even come back down here, form up that pattern, and then a clean breakout at 20. That would push us right up to the next resistance levels at about 28. And then if that broke out, something like this, that would be the push to, pushes up to $40 to $50 per coin on Prime. Next one we're looking at here, guys, is OXO. A lot of these charts, right, are just in the same pattern because they're all kind of following each other along the trend of whatever Ethereum is doing. But same pattern here. I bought in down here at about 31. We have the descending trend right here. We're going to retest that probably soon here, coming up and then we just have a symmetrical triangle breakout that obviously the first resistance level is going to be about 41 cents. Retest that, will probably come retest to a support. Then we'd have an ascending triangle breakout here like this, which then obviously that breakout level, first profit target is going to be 50 cents. Maybe we come back down again, form another triangle pattern breakout, and then that's going to be the push that pushes up from about 50 cents upwards to maybe $1 per coin. If we look at the actual projection of what this pattern would probably look like, go like this. This is just short-term technical pattern. Long-term, who fucking knows, right? It would be about 72 cents initial profit target. Obviously, big psychological number that would run into it would be about $1 per coin. Next one is Carrot. You can look at Dex tools. Carrot wrapped ETH. I like this pattern. We saw that big dump to the downside, huge spike, and now breaking out above the horizontal resistance here at about 65 cents. What I'd like to see is potentially, even if we don't break out right here and hold, at least come back down. It could even break below this, right? And then trap everyone under there, right? And then we have a new higher low, and then a secondary retest above this level. And then that breakout would send this to retest all-time highs and even go beyond there. But I like what's going on with Carrot. Definitely a very bullish pattern that is forming right now. This would be the ideal situation, but who knows? It could just continue to rip. But when we look at Ethereum, guys, Ethereum's candle is so long and so large that, we're probably going to see some sort of pullback off this, of which your altcoins are going to dump quite a bit. You can even see altcoins are already dumping today, which is going to provide some buying opportunities. And Ethereum hasn't even gone down. Ethereum is basically break even. Everything else is already, pushing 5%, 2%, 3%, 3%. So Ethereum pulling back, if that came all the way back, that's 7%. That's going to be a big pullback on the altcoins if that did indeed happen. So we'll see what happens on Ethereum, but it's very possible we see some sort of consolidation and, which was very healthy. That would be very healthy to see some sort of pullback and consolidation, flag pattern triangle breakout here on Ethereum. But that is Carrot. I definitely like it. Look for dip buying opportunities. PAL AI. I believe we have PAL listed over here. PAL, same situation. This is what I want to see. I want to see a flat top breakout. Also break out above this descending trend, retest support. So we're looking at a buying opportunity on any sort of dip, maybe to about 47.5, and then come back up, retest this breakout, and that would be the trigger to retest all-time highs. Then maybe a pullback, and then a much larger triangle breakout like this, but formed on a larger scale, which would then project a target up of about 145, which would be about 200% above today's current price. Or I guess that was the other day. So if we went from here, about 200% or so on PAAL. Also, Destra Network, Desync. These are a lot of coins that Alex Becker are pumping. So my whole plan here is on some of these, just take advantage of Alex Becker's influence and all these people that are buying these up, get in early on them, and then dump while everybody is probably going to hold a little bit too long, and we lock in profits along the way up and ensure that we make money. We'll probably not make the most money because we're going to be locking in gains, and we're not going to sell at the top most likely, but we will walk away with profits while most people will give up most of their gains when everything dumps 70 to 80% like they do every time. But Desync is breaking out above this descending channel resistance right here. Also, this is really strong support at about 21 cents. So this is just getting started. Obviously, next profit targets here are going to be around 33 cents. This peak is a pivot, but the most stronger resistance will be around 45 to 50 cents, of which what we would like to see on here is a breakout and retest that level, then create a secondary resistance, pull back, create a new higher low. Boom. Then we have a dip buying opportunity down here. If we do see a strong base, even that support or resistance now becomes support. Retest this level, and anywhere in this zone is going to be a huge buying opportunity if this pattern forms up, to then have a buying opportunity to break out above 46. And from there, that's probably pushing this thing to $1-ish per coin. But anyways, guys, that's kind of what I'm looking at here across the board on a lot of these altcoins. Expect a pullback. Expect a pullback after the massive BBC that we just saw on Ethereum. Okay, so don't be surprised if we do get a lot of pullback on some of these altcoins that are coming into fruition right now. Overall, all these patterns are forming up picture perfect patterns that we can take advantage of. This will maybe be the first cycle of this year that we can really take advantage of. And again, what we would want to see on a lot of these, right, is this first breakout here on a lot of these coins to then retest all-time highs, then get a pullback, retest that, and then form a larger triangle breakout pattern that we can then trade again in a couple months. Okay, but right now, these patterns are forming up the retest of the high. And then there's going to be a larger triangle pattern breakout that we can then re-establish and retrade again. But as always, lock in gains along the way up, guys. It is so easy to give back all your gains in crypto once the party stops. So, and who knows, maybe that was it. Maybe this was the end of the party. I don't know. I'm not a fucking sidekick, but all I can say right now is that everything is looking super bullish, especially after such a confident fucking candle that we just saw on Ethereum. Things are looking super bullish. So right now, I got a decent amount of long exposure, and I'm expecting more upside. But first, thinking that we could definitely expect some sort of pullback on Ethereum and Bitcoin after such a strong move. It only is logical that there is going to be some selling pressure, which I believe will be a buying opportunity. But anyways, guys, that's a wrap for today. Again, let's get a like on this video. Drop a like if you could. That would be super grateful. I spent 20 years doing my other channel, 450,000 subs. We're only at 5,700 here. I got a lot of amazing trading guests coming to the other channel with 470 subs. We already have one with Trader Main. Tim Sykes is about to drop, and we have a bunch of other new guests coming to the podcast. So definitely check out my other channel. I'll link that below also. But anyways, guys, that's a wrap. Let's make some fucking bank. Let's close out the year strong. Let's go. Peace.